Can South Africa become our primary automotive and military hardware supplier for the continent?
Can South Africa become our primary automotive and military hardware supplier for the continent of Africa? You know, I watch this video repeatedly. I keep watching it and I'm asking myself, what is stopping us from uniting the continent of Africa? Why are we not listening to ourselves? And those of you who are scared of the unity of Africa, I don't know what are your fears for. And I am not talking about the colonial criminals, because they intentionally divided Africa among themselves to keep us at the bottom of the human race. So they will never want to see a united Africa, because they know a united Africa means a dignified Africa. A united Africa would uplift us. Imagine 54 states with all the mineral resources that we have. If we can have one president, do you think any president in the world can bully him? If we can have one currency, do you think any currency can stand the currency of Africa with our resources? That was the dream of our forefathers, Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, including recently Muammar Gaddafi. Imagine, can any military stand our military if we can have one military command as African people? So in this speech, this honorable member of parliament in Ghana is asking those questions, and I want us to go and watch his full video, come back and analyze it, because I keep watching it and I keep asking myself, because this is the dream and our mission here in One Africa Mission. But before we do that, please, I would like to say thank you to those of you supporting our mission, subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Facebook, on TikTok. Now TikTok said you can also subscribe to our TikTok channel. So please, those of you who haven't done that, please try and do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok. Let us all together bring our energies to fight for a united Africa, because it is only unity that can give us back our dignity as children of Africa. Let us go and watch his full video, come back and analyze it.
Until we begin to trade amongst ourselves as a continent with our own currencies and not the US dollar, we will remain enslaved by the global system designed to keep Africa economically colonized. Africa must come to a place where we trade amongst ourselves. We must grow together as a continent, leveraging our unique abilities and collective strengths. Africa must view itself as one homogeneous nation with heterogeneous people. Look at the United States, the United Kingdom, India, or China. These countries are literally continents that have developed different capabilities in different regions. The San Francisco Bay Area is the technology hub of the US. Detroit is the automotive capital. California and the Midwest are food baskets. In China, Henan is the agricultural province. Shenzhen is the technology hub. Guangzhou is the automotive capital. Can we say the same about Africa? Can we have an Africa that gets its grain and livestock from the Eastern African bloc and not from Europe or South America? Can South Africa become our primary automotive and military hardware supplier for the continent? Can all of Africa's tea, coffee and ICT services come from Kenya, whilst Ghana and Ivory Coast produce all our fintech, gold, cocoa and salt needs? Why should Nigeria not offer us the rice, sugar, cassava and crude oil that Africa needs? Should we not get our mineral deposits and cement from the north of Africa? Why have I asked these questions? Until we begin to trade amongst ourselves as a continent with our own currencies and not the US dollar, we will remain enslaved by the global system designed to keep Africa economically colonized.
Yeah, so as you can see, that is Honorable Sam George. I'm told he's from Ningo Pram Pram in Ghana, Tema, somewhere Tema. And then he was talking about how the need for us to unite, what we have been talking about here. The thing that we have been talking about here in One Africa Mission, that is exactly what he was talking about. And I pray that the next government, which his party is likely to be the next government in Ghana, he will be the foreign minister for Ghana, because we need people like him to lead us as children of Africa. We need patriotic, smart young people to lead us as children of Africa, because we cannot continue to know that this is what we should do as children of Africa, and yet we are not doing it. We keep complaining. As he said, imagine if South Africa can be the military hardware, automotive and military hardware, military supplier for the continent of Africa. Imagine the benefit that it will give to South Africa and the entire continent of Africa. And I'm saying this because I was having a conversation with a brother from somebody from South Africa, and then he was so concerned about the unity of Africa. He was giving me all manner of reasons why Africa cannot unite, because his reason is that we are different tribes, we have different culture, we have different whatever. And I said, if you can put all those differences and call yourself a South Africa, because in South Africa you don't have one tribe, you have different tribes, but you put it aside, come together and call yourself South Africans. In Nigeria, more than 200 tribes, but they put all these tribes aside, come together and call themselves Nigerians. In Mozambique, the same thing. In Zimbabwe, the same thing. In Ghana, the same thing. In Kenya, different tribes. But we put all these tribes aside and call ourselves Kenyans. If we can do it for a small nations, which was given to us by our colonial criminals in Berlin, we can equally put aside all these tribes and come together and have a united Africa. So if that is your logic, if that is your concern, then that is invalid. Because if we were to go by your logic, that reasons why we cannot unite the continent of Africa, then we couldn't have nations in Africa. We couldn't have countries in Africa, because there is not a single country in Africa that has one tribe. There are different tribes that come together to become a country or a nation. So if Somalis can put aside whatever differences they have as different tribes, different languages, and call themselves Somalis, then we can equally put aside all differences as children of Africa and become one powerful country, nation, so that it will go a long way to benefit all of us collectively. Just as the member of parliament was saying, imagine if South Africa can become the country that supplies the continent of Africa, just as the Americans are doing. The Americans have earmarked states. This state is providing us food. This state is providing us military hardware. This state is providing us this. If 50 states can do it, put aside whatever differences they have, and do that for the collective benefit of them, then me and you, as children of Africa, we can also put aside all those so-called differences, tribes, languages, and unite for our collective good. Just as President Museveni was saying, one good thing advantage about Africa is that we have a language that does not belong to anybody. That is one good thing. So if you say you are Kikuyu, you are Xhosa, you are Hausa, you are Ashanti, you are Dagomba, you are this, you are that, you can put all that aside and adopt Swahili, because Swahili belongs to nobody in Africa. And just as I'm saying, it is not only this minister who is saying that. The other day, just recently, one of the giants of African music came out and he talked about the same thing. Burna Boy. Let me read what Burna Boy said to you before we continue. Let me read it to you. He said, "I am not a Nigerian artist. When people call me Nigerian, I feel like my dreams are failing. I am African, and my dream is to make Africa united. When I see Nigeria and South Africa fighting every time, I cry. America is successful today because all the country states that make up America don't see any difference in each other. Their strength comes from unity. When you say you are from the America, people respect you. You without asking which state you are from. But for Africa, it is always us fighting each other. The day Africa becomes the United States of Africa, we will have the strongest nation in the world. Our music industry will grow. Our sound will be global. Africans are strong, but disunity and hate weaken us. Disunity and hate weaken us." This is Burna Boy, the Nigerian musician, speaking here. And how could he have been right? Because if you are coming from America, just as he said, If you say you are from America, nobody asks which state are you coming from. As long as you are American, everywhere you found yourself on this planet Earth, you are respected. But if you are from Africa, you are not. Why? Because Africa is not united. That is a question we must ask ourselves. And that is what we must do as children of Africa to overcome the Berlin petition of the African continent. We can never, as children of Africa, gain back our dignity if we continue to keep that Berlin Conference petition of Africa. The other day, another Nigerian movie star in the name of Ramsey Noah, he also came out and he talked about that.
I like the fact that somebody here used Africa as a village. Yes, it's about time, brother. Why do you need visa to go to South Africa, for the love of God? Why? It's a question I keep asking ourselves, but we call ourselves brothers. We call ourselves neighbors, but we don't treat ourselves as such. Why? When would that change? If you go with this mindset and this impression that, oh, yeah, I am this, I am that, I am that. No. You're not my brother then. You are not my brother, I'm sorry. If you're my brother, you would treat me like we're equal, we're the same. And that's what I stand for. I don't think I need visa to go to Kenya, to Ghana, to Ethiopia. I think it's about time we make it a one village. We work together for each other. Because that's the only way. The unity and the unification of the black man and the black skin is the only way. And I can guarantee you that, unequivocally, without a doubt, that's the only way we can succeed and not be enslaved to our mentality.
And this should tell you that every African citizen today, or majority of African citizens today, know that we are going through this hell because we are disunited. My question is, what can we do? If Burna Boy is talking like this as a musician, is it possible we can organize a festival, a concert of a united Africa in all Africa and all the 54 states, capitals in Africa? Can Burna Boy come out with an initiative of maybe organizing concert in Addis Ababa, in Abuja, in Nairobi, in Morocco, wherever, all the 54 states in Africa, the capitals? Can he come out so that together we can work and organize and educate the youth to see the need, through music, to see the need for a united Africa? We cannot just be talking. This unity or overcoming the spell that these colonial criminals did to us in Berlin, it needs hard work. It doesn't, and action, not just talking. I thank you very much for coming around. Me and you will bring a dignified Africa for the next generation of Africans. They deserve better than we are having now. They can only get that betterment if me and you come together and provide them that. I thank you very much for coming around. I am your missionary brother.